So President Biden's good little sycophantic foot soldiers who crave power are out there now selling us crumbs, selling us the stripped-down reconciliation package. Here's Mayor Pete lying on Biden's behalf.
Talk about what's not in the bill. Key Democratic promises like paid family leave, free community college, and more left on the cutting room floor. President Biden says that he is going to continue to fight, but realistically, how are you going to get those passed if you can't do it now?
Well, look, I'm a big believer in policies like paid family leave. So is the president. And what I would say is not only are we going to keep fighting for them, but if we deliver this historic package, if we pass that, then anything else that we try to do as an administration on the road ahead, we'll be doing from a position of even greater strength. You know, one thing that I think everybody from, moderates looking at, who are coming from very close districts to progressives who are eager for us to make big transformative change, one thing everybody gets is that we need to deliver. And, success begets success. But let's also be clear. I don't think we should describe any of this as half a loaf. This is a lot of loaves all at once. Any one of the provisions in the Build Back Better framework would on its own represent a historic achievement. Taken together, this is truly massive. I mean, I think, this could come to be known as the big deal. Teddy Roosevelt had the Square Deal. FDR had the New Deal. Getting all of these things delivered in one administration, in one Congress, will be a very big deal for the American people.
He's just lying. There's the Square Deal, there's the New Deal, and this is the big deal. This is the big deal? What, did we spend 5-6 times more than this on the military every single year? Every year. When they cited that $3.5 trillion number, they're talking about over a decade. Now we're talking about $1.75 trillion over a decade, and you're calling this the big deal? By the way, the biggest lie in there is this idea, well, we can get to the other stuff, but we should do this one now. Wait, you said we would get back to the $15 minimum wage for the entire country. You said it'd be in the next reconciliation package. Democrats, that's what Schumer said. It's not. It didn't make it into the next reconciliation package. You lied. If it's not getting done now, it's not getting done. There will be no revisiting this. Because, guys, this is a reconciliation process. If it can't make it into this reconciliation process, why would it make it into the next one? You're going to run into the same roadblocks. So unless Biden is willing to take out the whooping stick and willing to do the carrot or stick approach, willing to play the role of the mafia boss, it ain't getting done. And he's not doing those things. I've told you this a million times. Joe Manchin is from a crime family. His wife and his daughter did crimes. There was the EpiPen scandal, the price gouging scandal. His daughter was directly involved in that. They have her on email, dead to rights, saying, how can we rationalize the jacking up of the price? Merrick Garland should be investigating her. Joe Biden could say to Joe Manchin, if you don't vote for the bill, somebody in your family is going to prison. If you do vote for the bill, nobody's going to prison. Somebody in your family can get my administration. You get another military base in West Virginia. You'll get extra infrastructure money. What do you want? I'll be your best friend or your worst enemy. You tell me. It's your choice. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. He's not doing that. And now Mayor Pete is selling the crumbs like it's the big deal. Are you kidding me? Guys, this is like the 20th time in this show alone that I did this, but what's out of the bill? No more tax hike on corporations. Gone. So in other words, the Trump tax cuts stay in place. No tax hikes on billionaires. Gone. So the Trump tax bill stays in place. They're signing off on the Trump tax bill by not raising taxes on the wealthy. Free community college, gone. That was one of the best provisions in there. Expanded Medicaid coverage of dental and vision is gone. Lower drug prices is gone. Over 80% of the public supports that, and it's gone because of corruption. Paid family leave is now gone. That was one of the key selling points that Jen Psaki would go out there and use it to sell this bill. Now that's gone. And Mayor Pete is pissing on you and saying it's raining. That's what he's doing. This is the big deal. This isn't a big deal. This is peanuts. So, guys, listen, understand something. Because some might watch this segment and say, Kyle's too much of a hardliner. He doesn't even understand how Washington works. No, I told you from the beginning. Yes, the $3.5 trillion bill was the deal at the beginning of the reconciliation process. I'm the one who told you it's not going to be $3.5 trillion ultimately, but we need to find a reasonable compromise. So my bare minimum lines were $2 trillion, no means testing, and no climate, no deal. It failed the first one. It's under $2 trillion. So I'm not out here denying that there's a process in Washington and denying that a negotiation happens. I'm the one who was telling everybody about that from day one. The question is the compromise reasonable? And the answer is not even close. Not even close. So of course you should vote no if you're on the left, and don't buy this nonsense where they're selling you crumbs. Again, the only way out of this where everybody would win is if I'm a left congressperson, I go to Biden and I say, you want me to vote for the $1.75 trillion bill along with the traditional infrastructure bill? Fine, I'll do it. But here are my demands. Here's a list of executive orders you need to sign in order for you to get my vote. Legalize marijuana effectively by changing it from Schedule 1 to Schedule 5, free every single federal nonviolent drug offender, abolish all $1.73 trillion in student loan debt, pardon Julian Assange. List goes on and on. You should make a list of 8 or 10 demands. And you know what? Maybe you don't get all 8 or 10, but if he gives you 3, 4, that's a win. You could say, yeah, these bills suck, but I also got all student loan debt eliminated, so nobody on the left could come after you in good faith and act like you didn't do a good job. You did everything you could. But this is not that. And Mayor Pete just made a big deal out of paid family leave. He just took paid family leave for like 3 months during the supply chain crisis, and he's Secretary of Transportation, and he was arguing for everybody's right to have it. And now he's out there saying, this bill that doesn't have it is the big deal. It's great. It's wonderful. Shut off, son. Shut off. Such a paid hack. There is no negotiated deal that could have come out where Mayor Pete would have said, this is wrong. No deal. None. The bill could be $100 billion over 10 years, and he'd be like, this is transformational. Comparing it to the New Deal. FDR's rolling over in his grave if you compare it to the New Deal. There's not even any long-term permanent programs. The best we got in the bill is 6 years of universal pre-K. That's the best we got. There should be permanent programs in there. If the Democrats took, let's say, 2 programs and said, we're going to do these in perpetuity. So we're going to do free community college for everybody and universal pre-K for everybody in perpetuity, and that bill comes out to over $2 trillion, I'd be arguing for it. I'd be on the side of it. But they didn't even do that. They did a little piecemeal approach. They stripped out some of the best provisions, did a little piecemeal approach, and that's it. And now, again, he's pissing on you and telling you it's raining. Don't buy the bullshit.